Hello, hello. Welcome back, Special Needs Mamas. This is episode 8. So, we are going to talk about communication and collaboration. So, when you think of communication and collaboration, you're thinking about how to communicate properly and effectively with your child's medical team, how to collaborate and communicate with the school district when it comes to the IEP process, and communication and collaboration with your other co parent, which can be a very difficult thing. And I totally understand that because I feel your pain on that because my co parenting interaction is not always positive, effective, but boundaries are a beautiful thing. So I'll say that. Now, it is super important when you have a medically complex special needs child. Communication and collaboration goes a long way. It is effective and should be in a positive way, especially when you're trying to figure out what your needs of your child are and how to best address and advocate for their needs and the care that they should be getting. Now, when it comes to the medical team, let's kind of start there. It is important to ask questions. Always ask a lot of questions because there are things that us medical professionals, and I am a healthcare worker, that we will spit a lot of medical jargon to you and you will not understand a damn thing of what we said. So, what I always recommend to people is that make sure you say, listen, I didn't understand that. Can you explain that so I can understand it a little bit better? Because most of us who are not healthcare workers don't understand all that mumbo jumbo shit that doctors will say. Okay. And I can speak for myself because sometimes I don't even understand what half of them are trying to tell me. And I've been in healthcare for 20 years. So it is very important that you ask a ton of questions. It doesn't matter if the question is, silly, whatever the case may be. It'll help you understand better so that you can have more positive interaction with them to make sure that you're on the same page with your child's medical team. And you create that collaboration so everybody's on the same page so that you can get the proper treatment, get the proper tests, get the proper medications, get just the proper medical care that your child needs. Now, the IEP process. That has been a very difficult thing for me to grasp, considering that it's very complex and it takes time to just research and learn the process. And I know there's a lot of Facebook groups out there that talk about the IEP process to kind of better educate yourself. I have really just done a lot of groundwork when it comes to the IEP process and just so I can nail down what I need to know, how to help my child, and if I need to have an advocate, to advocate for them. So that is a good way to make sure that you have proper communication, you advocate for your child, and be on the same page with collaborating with the team of therapists that you're going to have provided by the school district, any outside therapies that you might have to fork up an expense for your child. It's very important to foster that positive communication and to advocate when you need to. Now, the last thing that I'm going to touch on this episode, which can be very difficult, and if there is anger, resentment, tension still there, even after the divorce has been done, whether it's a year, 5 years, 10 years, and sometimes the other co-parent might be hanging on to some kind of anger and resentment. Listen, it is not your fault that they are angry, okay? Because you cannot control why they're angry. All you can do is you can go ahead and implement healthy boundaries for yourself to make sure that you have some kind of positive communication and interaction with the other co-parent and have a collaboration with them as far as a co-parenting relationship so that your child gets the best worlds when it comes to both parents. Because I'm a firm believer, every child deserves two happy parents, two happy, healthy parents. So it's important to make sure that the communication factor is there with the other co-parent. Now, what I like to do is just keep it strictly about the child or the children. You don't have to be their best friend. You don't have to be friendly. Just be respectful, calm, civil, like a business transaction, okay? Because the marriage is over. And I'm not saying that there aren't some people that aren't friends with their ex and they have a really good co-parenting relationship. And I am all for that because that's exactly what co-parenting is all about. However, some of us, it's not that easy. And we're made to look like the bad guy. And we're the bitter baby mama. And that's simply not the case. We are just trying to communicate effectively, make sure that we advocate for our child, and just trying to get you on the same page with us so that we can parent in a positive way and effectively. So I hope that gives you some insight on how you can co-parent. And a lot of times, just talking to them and saying, hey, we need to make the decisions for our child on these medical decisions, on school, on this and that. I need your feedback on this. And if they don't want to give you any feedback, then guess what? That's that. Because you cannot change or force them to do anything that they just simply don't want to do. But as long as you put it out there that you're there to communicate effectively in a positive way and that you're just trying to, promote a healthy environment so that your child has two happy, healthy parents, that's all you can do is put it out there and see what happens. So in the next episode, I will go into some details about IEPs and advocacy. So I am going to briefly touch on that so that you get just a general idea of how that process goes when your child starts school. I hope this episode was very insightful for you. Thank you so much for listening. Hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening and joining me on this podcast. If you would like to share your story or have anything that you are struggling with, please send me an email at email@thecoparentingmama.com. You're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram at karina.hogan. You can send me a DM there. Let's chat. Would love to hear from you. My DMs are always open and I am here to listen and support you. Remember, mamas, thriving moms equals thriving kids. Healthy parenting starts with you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening and joining me on this podcast episode. If you would like to share your story, please reach out to me at email@thecoparentingmama.com. Head on over to Instagram, give me a follow, send me a DM at KarinaOfficial_78. Let's chat. Let's talk about all the special needs mom things. My DMs are always open and I'm here to listen and support you. Remember, thriving moms equals thriving kids and healthy parenting starts with you.